today. Yeah, if you can hear a sort of like almost like a jet engine sound in the background, that's my computer right now. It's gone from sort of I can handle 20 to 25 degrees of heat. We're pushing something like 30, 35 here. It's rather warm, so bear with me. This stream may not be very long like my Fallout video that I put up today because, as I said, it's rather warm. The computer's not particularly happy. But I did say that I would try and do a stream every Tuesday. Neither wind nor snow nor glom of net shall stay these messengers from their duty. I think that's the one. Yeah, I did just quote Terry Pratchett, because why not? So yeah, I'm going to be playing some Galactic Science HQM. Now, we did this a little while ago and it wasn't particularly interesting to watch because I wasn't really doing anything. I was just sort of ambling around, doing things like that, basically changing my air tanks and the like. But I've expanded a little bit since then. So before, we kind of had this system here. Actually, I just need to change something. Yeah, okay. So before we had that sort of system there, and now I've sort of expanded it out to this system, and that's all going to be changing very soon, and that's what I'm going to be basically working on today, which is this one over here. So I'm going from a very much manual system to a semi-automatic system. This will be a completely automatic system that's actually having its building, the building for it is being built around the setup. So we will have a tree farm here, and that tree farm will produce apples and saplings and wood. That wood can then be sent to a chemical decomposer, which will be placed here, which will break it down into its component parts. Now, any carbon or hydrogen can then be sent next to it into the chemical reassembler, I think it's called, something like that, where it will be turned into fuel specifically, and I've got it written down here somewhere, C5H8. Now, C5H8 is propane? Question mark? Something along those lines. It's a flammable anyway, that can be then sent into the generators that will create power to run the tree farm, and that will also run the moon rock creating system, whereby cobblestone from here will go into a chemical decomposer here, and then anything that isn't so silicon and oxygen will go into the crafter tier 2, and then that will be turned into moon rock, which will then be sieved in an automatic sieve, and then probably put into a chest somewhere, I guess. Anything that isn't silicon or oxygen will get sent into a chest here, or it'll be sent down into that chest down there. So as you can see, I've kind of thought about this vaguely. And so the whole system will basically mean that it creates ore, ultimately. The chemicals, things like Fe and the like, will go into a chest, and then I can either, well, for the moment it will be a manual system of taking it over to a chemical reassembler, or whatever it's called, and then turning it into the metal, or putting it into my, and I'll show you that in a sec. I've got a table of elements that I'm slowly building out of barrels in the main building, and so yeah, that can eventually go all the way over there. Now let's go into the main building, and I'll show you that lot. And while I'm building this stuff, we'll probably end up talking a little bit about trial and weapon system and the like. So this is the start of my table of elements. I've got probably about a quarter of it filled in, something like that. Not even a quarter. But with time, I can actually fill out an entire table of elements using Minechem, which I think is absolutely awesome. I'm growing netherwort over here. Slowly, not that much of it. It's more just in case I need... what's it called? It's not methyl chloride. It's one of those anyway. It's basically the stuff that makes cocaine. Yeah, it's this one. So it's basically the one that makes cocaine, which is yeah, so C17H21NO4. So basically it'll be a supply of nitrogen as well as carbons and hydrogens. I actually get quite a lot of that out because it makes cocaine hydrochloride, the netherwort, and then you can break that up in a decomposer and then release all of that. So you actually get quite a lot of components out of that. So might be something worth looking into later on when I can get better. I think there's an Ender IO harvester type thing, so I might have to look into that. This chemical decomposer is actually decomposing compressed cobble, and then that's making all of this sort of stuff. So I'm going to take the Fe out of there. Take the Fe out of there. I probably need to put some of this sodium away. Let's do that. That just goes into that one. Right, yeah, so Fe. Yeah, that will make the decomposer that I need easily. So make that one. So yeah, this stream I'm going to be working on the automatic facility and chatting about politics and the like. So hey ho, let's begin. So yesterday, rather interesting thing happened. There was a vote in the council, in the government, for the replacement for the Trident weapon system, which I thought was kind of interesting. So Trident is the British, well, it's also the American. The missiles are built by America. They are the Britain's nuclear deterrent. And I believe I did a little bit of hunting around for this earlier. I think they're the Type 98 or something. Basically, a MIRV missile. Each of them is about each warhead is about 4 times as powerful as the bombs dropped on Nagasaki and Hiroshima. So each one packs a fair punch. And the vote wasn't actually for replacing Trident, but for replacing the submarines that they're placed in, the Vanguards. The Vanguards were built in 70s, 80s, something like that. They're second strike nuclear weapons, which basically means that your first strike are stuck in silos. These are known sites by your enemies, and so they're going to be some of the first targets for a first strike. Second strike are all the your mobile platforms. So for Russia it would be Scud launchers. For Britain it would be all the submarine based weapons. And so yeah, so they're first and second strike capable. They kind of swim into position and open up the tubes and fire. But in this day and age, do we really need them? That's the big question. And you kind of look at the world and you say, no, you don't need them. If anything, you want to get rid of them, because if you're prepared to get rid of them, then other countries will be prepared to get rid of them. And you look at it and you think, okay, so who are we deterring from launching a strike against us, considering there's so much terrorism out there in the world right now? Obviously, the fact that we've got 160 warheads isn't deterring terrorists from attacking the West. So what exactly are we actually protecting ourselves from? Hold on. The beeping noise, I think it's from outside. But yeah, so yeah, it's a case of, you know, what exactly are we protecting ourselves from? And the answer there is not a huge deal. Nuclear weapons were designed for a very, very specific purpose, which was to completely annihilate your enemy. Do we need that? Do we actually need that? If you consider the reasons why people say we need to keep them, Iran, who have the materials to make 5 nuclear weapons, and they have the expertise to build the weapons, but they don't actually own the bombs. The reason why they don't own the bombs is quite simple. It's a bargaining tool. They have the capabilities, and they have all the capabilities to build the weapons, but they don't actually build them. And this stops Israel from attacking them, and as Israel have done in the past. Israel, at the first sign that Iran would do anything, Israel would be wiping them out. And it gave them a bargaining chip to go to the Americans and say, hey, look, we, give us, relax the sanctions and we won't build nuclear weapons. Which is probably the best way to use a nuclear weapon, really, is to basically not build one. So, yeah, there's that. All in all, though, they're going to be building some... I don't actually know how many submarines they've ordered. Probably at least 4, I'd think, 'cause we've got 4 Vanguards. And they're scaling down their nuclear weapons capability anyway. So, yeah, there's that. Right, so the reason why I have these silk trees infested is because I need a lot of wool. For various things. Wool is used for the thermal clothing that I'm making. This will protect me on Venus and Mercury and Mars. I think it's just Mars and Venus, possibly. The others are... There's different tiers of thermal padding. So, yeah, that's why I'm doing this. A bit more. And getting all the silkworms up, of course, because they're going to be needed for stuff. Now, when you start this, you don't actually have a whole lot of things. You literally just start with the base and a few bits and pieces. You don't even start with the chemical decomposer and the other thing. But you sort of build up. Using quests, you get various useful things that you need to get started. And then, I haven't actually died at all yet. It's quite easy to survive, which is a problem because actually I need to die because I want to get that quest unlocked. But I've got these titanium gear, which is really easy to make, and really does proof you against pretty much anything. I think it's a bit tougher than diamond. Alright, what was I doing? Sorry, it's so hot that I'm not thinking straight at the moment. So yeah, I've changed how I record things a little bit. And I hope people will prefer the sound that I'm doing now. Basically, I'm recording it in Audacity first. Not first, at the same time. I'm recording it in Audacity at the same time that I'm doing the video, and then I stitch them together after normalising the audio. So the audio is a little bit more balanced-ish. I could probably do a little bit more work with the sound stuff, but I'm not really an audiophile, so I don't. It's one of those situations where you don't really know exactly what you're doing. You're just doing things because they look about right. I tried using some other bits of software, but I don't know. I used Movie Maker to put it all together, and it does its job. Ultimately, I know it's not a particularly powerful piece of software. It is quite slow when you're doing you're rendering it all up, but it's not bad for what it is. And I think with a little bit of augmentation from other tools, it could be quite useful to just stick with that. I've tried Wax. I've tried. There's some open broadcaster thing that somebody recommended. I don't know. I even tried doing it through. Oh no, I was doing the recording through open. I can't remember what it's called. It's that one. Open broadcaster software. But because it sticks it into VLC and nothing else, it's actually quite awkward to sort of interface with it, I guess. It's not impossible to do it, but there seem to be a lot of sort of very much roundabout ways of doing things, which I just couldn't be bothered in doing, really. So I'm using Fraps to record the visuals, and then Audacity to record the audio, or at least the microphone audio. The in-game audio is still recorded by Fraps, and then I kind of balance it out in Movie Maker and then show it out. So yeah, sound should be a little better at least. I hope. I hope my computer isn't making a din over the video. I can only hope. Right. So what do I need to do now? I need to make. Well, I need to keep making iron. And I need to make more filters, which I can do, I think. Should be these. Yeah, I can make those. In fact, why go over there? So yeah, I need to make a filter for this thing. So the way that this will work is there'll be a filter on here. Which will be that one. So we've got an item filter, and then we've got a advanced. Okay, it does other things that I. So yeah, okay. So that's got a filter on it. That needs a filter on it. And I need one more filter for that. Once I've got the string for it. Yeah, and then I'll get the God, I'm forgetting my words today. The thingy on the thingy. Oh, you know what I mean. So carbon and hydrogen is going to be coming out this one. I do need another transfer node. I need to get the lava and the water. I'll do the lava and the water first. And I'll also get some more transfer nodes on the way. Can actually run the Stirling generators from lava. Just a little awkward doing so. It's the old bucket, put lava in bucket trick. And I need ice. Where do I get ice from? It is meant to be raining in the UK at some point, and I hope it's soon. Because my God, you just need something to just break the heat. It's too much. I suffer from hay fever as well. On top, so in the summer I'm not really feeling particularly much like going outside, because it can be quite, you know, I've got hay fever tablets and I've got a nasal spray as well, but the way that I consider it to be, it takes the edge off. It doesn't cure it by any stretch of the imagination, but it does take the edge off. But it does leave me feeling a little bit out of it, so I don't really like taking the hay fever tablets and sprays. It's not really you're feeling drowsy, you're just feeling not quite all there. So yeah, in the summer I don't really feel much like going outside, ever. But, you know, obviously I have to go to work and that, but other than that, short trips to the shops. Yeah. Right, okay. So that's making the oxygen. I think I've got one more stage of din before I will definitely have to just stop streaming. Actually, I might check this. Just loading up speed fan. Bear with me a moment, I just need to quite find out how warm my computer actually is. 60 degrees. I mean, even my graphics card is suffering. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna have to stop doing this. I will try and stream. I can't stream later on in the week because I'm working. I'll try and get some more videos out this week, but there probably won't be another stream for a week, simply because I don't have the time. But yeah, I'll see if I can get some more videos out. It's too hot to stream anymore. My computer's not doing great, so I want to take as much pressure off it as possible. So unless there is a chance of being able to do something else here. Hold on. Let me just do that and that and that. I'm going to set up. We're not going to do Fallout Shelter. Don't worry. We're going to do Big Pharma. Because Big Pharma is reasonably simple. And it doesn't have a load of mods on it or anything to make things awkward. Is it a window capture that I want to do? No, it's a... No, it is a window capture. Just make another game category, as it were. Oh, I can... Then got Steam. No. Yeah, that's meant to be. Oh my. Add. Oh, it's game capture, of course, isn't it? For other game. And it'd be Big Pharma. Yeah. Okay. Hopefully. I bring this up. Yay, Big Pharma. Right. Okay. So Big Pharma. We'll just change slash Big Pharma. That's all that done. It always seems to be the way in my streams that I start off playing one thing and end up playing something completely different. Right, let's start a new game. This is something along the lines of Factorio, I guess, whereby you got a goal to do, and I could probably do that one. I could do the Mega Cure. Let's give the Mega Cure a go. So, the idea of the Mega Cure is to sell one product with a price above 1,500. So the way we're going to be doing that is by starting off doing lots of smaller cures first, and then sort of merging them all into one. Going to need a little bit of thought, because you want to be replacing... It's going to have to be sort of an epic level craft, so you're going to have one machine snaking through the entirety of this. But we'll start off with a very simple cough medication. Like so. Oh, I always get this messed up. Right. So, the deal with this is you are a pharmaceutical company and you have to create drugs. Now, you have access to various ingredients, which you can get some more by sending your... hiring explorers and then sending them out on exploration trips to find useful things. If I go into research, you can also research machines that are going to help you improve your drugs and upgrade them. So we've got a very simple cough medication pill that somebody takes to soothe the cough. And as you can see, it's so you have to get the concentration within the green area. So in the case of this one, the active range is 6 to 13, so we've got it in the active range of 13. We can find out the best strength for this drug by putting it through an analyzer, but we don't have that ability just at the moment. There are side effects that you can have. This in this case it's dry as mouth, but again active range is 2 to 10, and so that's out of its active range, and so it's a side effect but it's inactive. You can upgrade these by getting it to a certain concentration and then running it through a machine. Now that machine I do not have access to yet. At the moment I've just got access to the dissolver and the evaporator, as well as the pill printer to make them into pills. But I'm going to buy another plot and just literally start building. Now this one I'm going to go and pick this one up. Now this is actually quite lucrative, so I need to upgrade it by 1. And check my 60 degrees, 59. Okay, so it's running a little bit warm. That's my processor, that is. Or is it? I don't know which one core is. Hold on. Fan core. Which is the... do anything with the clock. All I wanted to do was find out which one is my CPU. That may be very well be the overall temperature of the case. I don't know. No idea. I'm sure it's fine. It's just running a little warm. Right. When's the rain coming? Oh, God. The weather should start, the temperature should start dropping soon, I hope. Right, anyway, let's get back to the game. Anyway. What am I doing? Yeah, so I will need that to get into the black, really. Ooh, new drug, new product. Excellent. That should help me get into the black. Just a pill to get rid of certain types of wart. Let's buy another plot and set up another cough soothing one. Right, so that's gonna make me another. Aha! We are now in the green and the black. So now it's just a case of waiting a little bit. I can speed up. I'll just speed up so that we can get the research done. There's nothing else much I can do. Right, so we've got a new. Ooh, prevents gout. Excellent. Let's grab that booster one or whatever that one is. So one product. So something else that you can do, which is an advanced research. Give me a second. I just need to get the first one. Is join the sockets together, so I can have one product being generated throughout the entirety of the factory, basically. At least that's the plan. So I've got two guys. I'm going to go for that one next, because then I can get the creamer. So all of those little upgrades, they might reduce the cost of an item to run, or increase the efficiency, or something along those lines. So yeah. Oh yeah. So let's make some gout medication. Which is this one. Funnily enough, exactly the same setup as that one, just with a different drug. So it goes down. In where you see it's got that weird symbol as the catalyst, it means that you have to have a catalyst mixed with it, so that you can upgrade it. So some drugs require a catalyst to upgrade. This one doesn't, but it does require a machine, and we might upgrade that now. So I'm just going to move some things around. So that comes out at 10. Now if we go that over there. If we increase the concentration, by 3. That will bring it up to 13. And then if I reduce the concentration in the ionizer, or at least upgrade it in the ionizer, it will become a new drug. Either become the contraceptive, like so. Then we just have to drop it down a few more. I do like Big Pharma. It's there's a little bit of a puzzle element in here as well. Working out how to make your drugs in the most optimal way possible. So that is now a female contraceptive, and I can do that like so. I'll keep hold of the evaporator. When you sell them, unless you've got the perk, you do lose half their price. So I'll probably need that again at some point. Ooh, an antidepressant. It's got the catalyst already in it. Ooh, right, okay, we're taking that. I should note that all of my all of these actually cost me half because I've got that perk that that allow me to get the stuff for half price, basically. Oh, there's sometimes a little bit of a... No, that's fine. Sometimes a little bit of a trap in there, where they've actually got the catalyst in there, but if you put them through a machine, it might actually remove the catalyst. As it stands, in order to remove Blur's Vision catalyst, you need concentration of 0 to 3 and run it through the agglomerata thingy. And creamer. But we can now put that into a dissolver. Some of these machines do take longer to process things as well, so you've got to consider that. That's actually that's ADHD. So yeah, a couple more, and then I would, as soon as the creamer is ready, I'll actually put it through a creamer instead, because the creamer reduces the strength of side effects, which is rather useful. And let's bring down the cost of the antidepressant. So we're now selling that for 236 a pop. Or we're selling them at 386. No, we're getting profit of 236. So that's going to improve over time as well, because the raw material costs are going to go down as I upgrade the ingredient over here. Let's throw that in there. We might get a booster for something. Boosters are little things that you can add to your drugs that add a little bit of value to them. So, for example, easy to swallow might give you a better value if combined with a pill. So, yeah, they've thought about the various mechanics in this game, and I might stick with this as being this being part of the grand scheme of things, because that I could upgrade to treats bipolar disorder reasonably easily. I'd need the catalyst, which I don't have yet, but I'm gonna hire a couple more scientists and send them one down there, and hire another one and send that one down there. I'm also going to hire a couple of explorers so that they can just basically sit there and research stuff in general. I'm still making an awful lot of money, so that's good. Oh, come on. Stop being so hot soon. You might actually get through a whole hour's stream of making drugs and complaining about the heat. Because this is what Brits do. We don't get sun very often. So when we do get sun, it can be a bit surprising. You know, 20-degree heat is fine, 25 is still fine, 30 is starting to melt a little. Still, hopefully the hottest day of the year will be over soon. I think tomorrow's meant to be a little bit more reasonable. Not much, but a little bit more. So what else has been going on in the world while we sit and look at this stuff? Well, back on Trident, May said that she would push the big red button if threatened to. I'm not completely sure who we would be threatened by, considering, you know, anybody large enough to be afraid of nuclear weapons is large enough to have nuclear weapons of their own and enough to wipe out the world several times over. You know, are we going to be going to war with France anytime soon? Probably not. Because France is the only other nuclear armed country in the EU. But, you know, on the plus side, the Tory government has been very unified in Brexit. May has said that Boris Johnson, last time she sent him off to make any trade deals, he came back with 3 nearly new water cannons, which May then wouldn't let him use. Fox, of course, Dr. Liam Fox, what's he been doing? I know the other one, that Dennis person, David Dennis or something? I don't know. He's been saying that we can hold people to around. That the EU citizens, current EU citizens, may not be welcome here in the future, or something along those lines. Whereas May's been saying completely the opposite. It's all absolutely ridiculous. There's a lot of idiots out there, and most of them appear to be in our government. She said, May has said that she said something else as well. Oh yeah, that we won't be leaving the EU until 2017, which leaves us with even longer time spent really not knowing. Okay, what should I... Actually, I'm going to wait and I'm going to get that next upgrade, which will reduce the cost even more. Yeah, so it's down to $9, is that? Yeah. $9 a thing, whereas normally that would cost 18 or something. No, more than that. I think it starts with an 18 and then, yeah, so each of these usually costs about 30-ish, 20 to 30. But not at the moment because I've got that perk. Use that and get the creamer in. So I need the mixer and the analyzer. because I am literally trying to make the perfect drug. So that's going to reduce the. So it's going to increase combined value by $30 and reduce the strength of negative effects by 55%, and that can be upgraded as well. So they are now doing mixers while I just nip into ingredients. Yeah, apparently there's been some I guess backlash against anybody that says ill of Theresa May, on the basis that, you know, because she's a woman, and anybody who says ill of her must be a misogynist or something along those lines. It's not. It's simply because we think that she is not a very good fit for a prime minister, and she's not even elected by the people. You know, nobody's elected her into this position, and because she only came in because Cameron resigned after the Leave campaign did their sort of Pyrrhic victory, and so the Leave campaign now have everything that they want. They've got an unelected leader, in order to get rid of all those unelected leaders in the EU. And of course, the Queen doesn't actually count as an unelected leader for some reason. And so all sorts of craziness has been going on as a result of the vote. There's an awful lot more unease in the UK. I mean, the pound isn't great, but it's more sort of societal unease. The rise in attacks against people for not apparently being English, which is sad, really. If you haven't really followed Brexit, as they're calling it, good video to watch would be the Podcats, which is NerdCube's podcast. Last week's, or the latest one that he released anyway, really good watch. Should tell me. No, it hasn't found my max strength yet. Right, I've got 3. Let's stick that there. And yep, we need that one. The other things that have been happening in England, and I'm sure Sargon will cover some of this. There's 2 rather interesting things. These are now laws. So somewhere in Leicestershire, there's a town where, in order to combat the rise in antisocial behaviour, what they've decided to do is ban groups of, I think it's 4 or more people between the ages of 10 and 17 from grouping up. Because of the rise in antisocial behaviour, which is ridiculous, because why are these people hanging around? Is it because they don't have anything else to do, perhaps? And this ban is exempt from, I think it's 5 parks in the area, so these youths can go to these parks and have a game of footy without being in trouble with the police, but they can't hang around in a shopping centre. I don't know if there's any shopping centres in the village, but you know what I mean, around a marketplace or something, or in a random field. They can't do that, but they can in certain areas, which I think is, frankly ridiculous. It's the council thinking, what is the quick fix for this problem? Is it A, to give the kids something to do, or B, ban them from ganging up? Which is cheaper? Well, obviously, you ban them from ganging up and you give them criminal records that will stick around for the rest of their lives, just because they decided that, they wanted to chat on the street corner. So that was the first ridiculous thing that I saw. The second ridiculous thing I saw, these are things coming from England, and England is meant to be a progressive country. The other thing that I saw was that misogynistic behaviour is now considered to be a hate crime in, I think it's Nottingham. And this can range from abuse, sort of street abuse, verbal abuse, on the basis that somebody is female, or catcalls, wolf whistles, that sort of thing. Anything that a woman might decide is unwanted behaviour can actually be now labelled as a hate crime. But it's only one way. There is no... what's the other one? The hate men one, anyway. The word slips from my mind. But there's no one for the... If a woman is berating a man for being a man in the street, then that isn't actually listed as a hate crime, a specific hate crime. It can possibly fall under the ranks of other, which I think is ridiculous as well. If you're gonna bring in the law, you bring in the law for both sides. Otherwise, it's sexist ultimately. The whole idea of equality is for us to be equal. Why can't we just be equal? Why can't I, not say bad things about women and women not say bad things about me? It is baffling. But hey, this is the world that we apparently live in. Fun and exciting and brave new world and all that. I'm gonna do that. But on the plus side, Pokemon Go has been entertaining people. I do not play Pokemon Go. I have Pokemon on my DS. It's an original DS that I bought for DEF CON, which never got released on the DS in the end. But, oh, right, I didn't actually, okay. I need to put that in for that again. Yeah, so, yeah, so at least it's been getting people out of the house and into new areas and exploring things and finding bodies floating down rivers and people OD'd on park benches and being stabbed and falling off cliffs. It's a bit of a mixed bag. It's always going to be a bit of a mixed bag. It's like driving a car. You're going to have people who use it for good things and people that use it for bad things. I do think that some of the media not really understanding what this stuff is. It doesn't help, because this whole idea that bad people might lure kids somewhere using Pokemon. That's been the case for so long. There are bad people in the world, and bad people will use whatever there is available to do bad things, and that's kind of what happens. But I don't really think that it's a case of just being aware of your surroundings, rather than fearing the technology that creates the ability to do things. Otherwise, we may as well just go back to caves. Ultimately. Right, my computer is sounding hot, and I've almost done an hour now. So with that, I think actually I'm going to stop now, because I am a little too warm, and my computer's not sounding particularly happy either. So with that, I will say thank you very much for watching. I will try and get, depending on, it really does depend on the weather, but tomorrow is meant to be a little cooler with rain and thunder, Thursday the temperature drops substantially, so I should be able to. Oh, and Friday's meant to be more rain as well. Excellent. It's going to be hot but raining, so it shouldn't be quite so bad. So I should be able to get some more Fallout out for you. I should also be able to get maybe some Minecraft. I don't know. It will depend on stuff. Obviously I do have the Industrial Craft 2 video still to do. That's on my list. It will come. And possibly some more sort of showcase type things. Possibly. But anyway, with that I will say thanks very much for watching. Anybody that watched in the live thing. And anybody who didn't and watched this after the fact, thanks for watching this one. Yeah, all's good really. So yeah, so I'll see you next time.